a love story can change a man's life. But what happens when that love is something he was never meant to have? What happens when the world around him refuses to accept the one person who finally sees him for who he truly is? This is the turning point of Benedict Bridgerton's life, a moment when desire, freedom, and danger collide. Forcing him to choose between the life Benedict Bridgerton has always been the dreamer of the family. The one who looks past the rules and expectations of the ton and imagines a life shaped by passion instead of duty. But after the events of Season 3, he finds himself more restless than ever. The world around him is shifting, yet he remains suspended between who he is expected to be and who he truly is. His siblings are finding their own paths, building families, embracing power, and stepping into their futures with confidence. But Benedict, he still wanders through life like an artist who has misplaced the one sketch that truly matters. In Season 3, we saw him explore romance through curiosity rather than commitment. Each connection he made felt like a moment of excitement, a spark that flashed brightly, but then faded before it could settle into something real. He tried to convince himself that this was enough, that freedom meant never having to choose. But late at night, in quiet rooms lit by candlelight, Benedict began to question that idea. Was he chasing experiences or running from the possibility of something deeper? His art reflects his confusion, as one's bold strokes have softened, as if his heart is searching for something it cannot name. He attends events, he smiles, he entertains, yet there's an emptiness behind it all. Even his mother notices the shift, the way he sometimes stares off as if trying to see a future that refuses to take shape. Season 3 left him on the edge of something new, something powerful. He's no longer satisfied with adventure for adventure's sake. He longs for meaning, for connection, for a love that ignites his soul the way painting once did. And although he doesn't know it yet, Season 4 is about to bring him face to face with exactly the 10 unexpected force that will challenge not only his heart, but every rule he has ever lived by. For the first time, Benedict is not searching for freedom. He is searching for something worth fighting for. He was born into, and the life he secretly longs to claim. Benedict's world changes the moment he notices a quiet figure standing at the edge of a crowded ballroom. There is nothing loud or demanding about them, no dramatic entrance, no glittering jewels to catch the light. And yet something about their stillness pulls him in. While the rest of the room glitters with practiced smiles and perfect manners, this person seems untouched by the chaos, almost as if they're seeing the world from a secret place where no one else can follow. Benedict feels it instantly, a tug at his heart, sharp but strangely familiar. As if he has been waiting for this moment without realizing it. They are introduced only by whisper, barely a name carried through the room like a rumor. Some say they come from a family with too many secrets. Others say their arrival in London is a story people are afraid to speak aloud. But Benedict notices none of that at first. What draws him in is something far simpler. The way their eyes hold a quiet sadness, a loneliness he recognizes too well. It is the look of someone who longs to belong, but has never been allowed to. During the evening, Benedict watches them slip out of the ballroom, voiding the attention that follows their every step. Something urges him forward, not desire, not curiosity, but an instinct he cannot explain. Outside, he finds them standing alone near the garden doors, their face half lit by the moon. There is no grand greeting, no polite apology for escaping the crowd. Instead, there is only a shared silence, soft and strangely comforting. As if both of them understand that words are not needed just yet. He tries to speak, but the moment changes. When he notices the small sketchbook in their hands, the cover is worn, the edges softened by years of being held too tightly. When they open it for just a heartbeat, Benedict catches a glimpse of talent that surprises him, lines full of feeling, shadows full of truth. It is art that doesn't try to impress, but simply exists, honest and raw. And in that instant, Benedict understands something. This person is not just another visitor to the ton. They are an artist of the soul, someone who feels deeply, someone who sees the world the way he does, perhaps even more clearly. But the whispers he heard earlier return to him now, louder in his mind. Their presence in London is not welcomed by everyone. Their family carries a story society would rather bury, and Benedict senses it already, this connection. Whatever it becomes will not be simple. It will come with danger, with judgment, with consequences neither of them can yet imagine. Still, as they look up at him with cautious curiosity, Benedict feels his heart shift. For the first time in a long time, he is not drifting, he is drawn. He knows whether he wants to or not. This stranger is about to change everything from the moment their paths cross. Something unspoken curls around Benedict in this mysterious art is something quiet, yet powerful enough to unsettle the very structure of their world. At first, Benedict believes the obstacles between them are simple, usual whispers, the typical judgment that clings to anyone who does not come from money or status. But as days pass, he begins to understand that this is no ordinary boundary. Drawn by society, what separates them is deeper, older, and far more dangerous. Their family, Benedict learns, carries a history the Ton refuses to forget. A scandal buried beneath layers of gossip, resurfacing only when their name is spoken in the wrong circle. A misstep by a parent. A broken engagement. Rumors of debts, betrayal, even disloyalty to the crown. No one seems to know the truth, yet everyone claims to. And because the truth has been twisted so many times, it has become a weapon. A weapon aimed directly at anyone bold enough to stand close to them. But the forbidden element is not just society's judgment. It is the way this person lives on the edge of fear. They speak carefully, as if every word could be used against them. They walk lightly, as if the ground beneath their feet might give way at any moment. Their art, so full of emotion, becomes the only place where they can breathe freely. Benedict sees it, all the fear hidden behind their smile, the tension in their hands, the way they watch the world as if waiting for something terrible to return. And yet, the danger does not end there. Someone in the Ton seems determined to keep them in the shadows. A distant cousin with too much influence. A former guardian who thrives on control, nobleman who benefits from their silence. Their presence in London is not a social visit, it is an act of courage, maybe even rebellion. Each step they take into public is a risk. Each conversation is a test. Each glance exchanged with Benedict is a secret waiting to be discovered. Benedict feels the pressure closing in, even before the first rumor spreads. He sees how quickly society can turn, how fast admiration becomes cruelty. And still, he cannot pull away. Something in their honesty, their vulnerability, their quiet strength, holds him captive. He realizes with growing fear and growing certainty that getting close to them means stepping into a storm he cannot control. But he also knows that some storms are worth facing. Some risks are worth taking, because for the first time in his life, Benedict Bridgerton is not merely chasing excitement or beauty. He is fighting for something that feels real, something fragile, something forbidden, and something he is no longer sure he can live without. Benedict has always lived with one foot in the world he was born into, and the other in the world he wishes existed. But now, after meeting someone who sees him with startling clarity, that divide inside him grows wider, sharp enough to hurt. He wakes in the mornings with a restless ache, unsure whether it comes from longing or fear. In the quiet moments before the day begins, he questions everything he was raised to believe. What is duty, truly? What is happiness, if it must be bought with silence? He tries to lose himself in his art, hoping the paintbrush will steady his thoughts, but even his strokes betray him. They shake. They hesitate. They reach for a face he cannot stop imagining. A face that society has warned him to avoid. The more he paints, the more he realizes his art has changed. It has become deeper, more honest, perhaps even more painful. Because now, every line he draws carries the weight of a choice he does not want to make. At family dinners, he hears the polite chatter around him, yet it all feels distant. Daphne speaks of children, Anthony speaks of responsibility, Colin speaks of stepping into a new chapter, but Benedict cannot speak at all. He feels trapped between the expectations that shaped him and the truth that is reshaping him now. When Violet looks at him with gentle curiosity, he tenses, afraid she will see what he is trying so hard to hide. The last thing he wants is to disappoint her. Yet the thought of giving up this forbidden connection feels like tearing out a piece of himself. Late at night, he walks through the empty Bridgerton house, seeking answers in hallways filled with memories. He pauses at the windows, watching the city lights flicker far below, and wonders if anyone else in this world feels as split open as he does. His heart is loud, telling him to choose love, to choose truth, to choose the very thing that makes him feel alive. But his mind whispers warnings about scandal, about shame, about losing everything he has ever known. And then there is the fear he never admits out loud. Whispers begin long before Benedict even realizes he is being watched. It starts with a curious glance here, a raised eyebrow there, the sort of small reactions that seem harmless at first. But in the world of the ton, silence is only the first warning. Soon the air around him feels charged, as if every ballroom he enters holds its breath the moment he steps inside. Conversations shift the second he approaches. Fans lift to hide smirks. Eyes follow him with a growing hunger for scandal. London society loves a good romance. It craves a forbidden one even more. Lady Whistledown, of course, strikes first. Her latest column does not name Benedict directly, but her carefully chosen words leave very little to guess. She writes of a Bridgerton gentleman whose artistic passions have led him toward dangerous company. She hints at a shadowy figure whose past is stitched together with secrets. And though she offers no names, the Ton reads between the lines with disturbing ease. Whistledown has tossed the match, and now the gossip burns through London. With frightening speed, families who were once eager to invite Benedict to their gatherings now hesitate. Mothers guide their daughters away from him, subtly at first, then more boldly. Some even whisper that Benedict's heart has taken an unwise direction, one that threatens the Bridgerton name. Violet hears these murmurs. Anthony hears them. And each passing day tightens the invisible noose that society loves to place around anyone who dares step out of line. But the pressure does not fall on Benedict alone. The person he cares for becomes the center of a storm they never asked for. Doors are closed to them. Invitations vanish. Some people avoid them altogether as if scandal were contagious. Others approach with cruel curiosity, eager to pry into their past like children poking at a wound. The old fear in their eyes grows sharper, heavier, as if the world is reminding them that they were never welcome here in the first place. And Benedict feels helpless watching it unfold. He tries to shield them, to stand between them and the harsh stares. But every step he takes to protect them only seems to confirm the rumors. His presence becomes proof. His affection becomes evidence. And the Ton, with all its pretended grace, shows its true nature: cold, ruthless, hungry for the downfall of anyone who threatens its delicate balance. Even Benedict's friends grow uneasy. Some warn him in careful tones, others speak bluntly, telling him he is risking too much for someone who cannot offer him the safety of a respectable match. But none of them understand. None of them have seen the bravery behind that quiet smile, or the strength it takes to live with a past that refuses to let go. The stakes rise with every passing day. The walls of society close in. Benedict stands in the center, torn between the world that raised him and the love that has awakened his heart in ways he never imagined. The breaking point arrives on a night that begins like any other. Soft music drifting through a candlelit ballroom, elegant gowns sweeping across, polished floors, and nobles pretending their smiles are real. Benedict attends only because duty demands it, not knowing that this will be the night everything shatters. The moment he enters, he senses it. A strange stillness, a tension hiding beneath the music. People stare at him longer than usual. Their whispers cling to the air like smoke. Something is wrong. Then he sees them, his forbidden love, standing alone beneath a grand chandelier. Their shoulders tight, their eyes filled with a fear he has never seen in them before. A small circle of guests surrounds them, not close enough to touch, but close enough to trap. Their expressions are sharp, cutting, almost hungry. Someone has spoken. Someone has revealed the very secret this person has spent their life trying to outrun. Benedict can feel it. The truth hangs in the room like a blade waiting to fall. He pushes through the crowd, each step heavy with dread. He hears fragments of cruel questions, twisted accusations wrapped in false politeness. The guests speak as if they are discussing an object, not a human being. And at the center of it all, the person he cares for stands frozen, exposed, trying to hold themselves together while their past is dragged out in front of strangers who long for entertainment. Truth. Before Benedict reaches them, a nobleman steps forward, one of the voices that has always sought to control and silence them. His words are sharp and poisonous, crafted to cut deeper than any knife. He speaks of their family's disgrace, of debts unpaid, of loyalties questioned. He claims they are dangerous, a threat to anyone foolish enough to trust them. His gaze shifts toward Benedict with smug satisfaction, as if he believes he has finally won. But he has underestimated Benedict Bridgerton. In that moment, something inside Benedict snaps. Not with anger, no. This is something stronger. A fierce clarity, a resolve born from love. He steps into the circle, placing himself between the cruel nobleman and the trembling figure he has come to care for more than his own reputation. The ballroom falls silent. The musicians stop playing. It is as if the entire world tilts, waiting to see what he will do. Benedict doesn't shout. He doesn't argue. Instead, he speaks with a calm that cuts deeper than rage. He defends them not, only their name, but their dignity, their courage, their worth. He tells the truth the tongue refuses to see, that this person has survived more than any of them could bear. That their strength rises from wounds society pretends do not exist. Not that the scandal lies not in their past, but in the cruelty being displayed tonight. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Some look scandalized, others almost moved. But Benedict doesn't care. Turns to them, the one he loves, and holds out his hand. Simple gesture, yet powerful enough to silence every whisper in the room. Their eyes meet, full of fear and hope tangled together. With a trembling breath, they take his hand. In that single motion, the room erupts. Some voices shout in outrage, others whisper in disbelief. A few watch with quiet awe, but none of it matters anymore, not to Benedict. He has made his choice. He has stepped into the storm willingly, and now for the first time, they will face it together. After the night of the ballroom confrontation, nothing in Benedict's world remains untouched. The tongue buzzes like a shaken hive, poring over every detail of his public defiance. Some label him reckless, others call it romantic. Many whisper that he has doomed his future. But for the first time in his life, Benedict walks through the city with a strange sense of peace. The fear that once chased him has fallen silent. He has chosen love, not the safe kind, not the expected kind, but a love that feels honest, brave, and utterly his own. Season 4 is poised to explore the deep cost of this choice. Benedict's story will no longer be about searching for himself. Now it becomes a test of how far he will go to protect the person who has become the center of his heart. The tongue will not bend easily. Allies may turn into enemies. Old secrets may rise to the surface with sharper edges than before. Even within the Bridgerton family, support will not come without questions, concerns, and painful conversations. But this journey isn't about pleasing society. It's about reshaping it. This season will likely peel back layers of Benedict's character we've only glimpsed until now. We will see his artistic soul grow bolder, shaped not by distraction, but by devotion. His relationship will invite new challenges, forcing him to confront the limits of his privilege and the depth of his courage. Love will no longer be a dream for him. It will be a responsibility, a shield, fire that demands strength he must learn to master. And for the one he loves, Season 4 will be a story of reclaiming identity. Their past, once a chain, becomes a truth they no longer hide from. With Benedict beside them, they learn that belonging is not granted by society. It is created through connection, resilience, and the ability to stand tall, even when the world wants you small. Their bond becomes a quiet rebellion to hearts, choosing each other in a place built to separate them. The season's themes are clear: the battle between freedom and expectation, the cost of loving in a world ruled by reputation, and the courage it takes to walk into the unknown with someone's hand in yours. It is about breaking patterns, challenging rules, and showing that real love does not wait for permission. As the final scenes draw near, one question will guide the entire journey. Can Benedict redefine what it means to be a Bridgerton? Not by following tradition, but by following his heart. The answer will unfold in stolen glances, trembling confessions, and the kind of moments that change a life forever. And as viewers, we watch with breath held, because we know one truth. In Season 4, Benedict Bridgerton's love story will not just test the limits of society, it will rewrite them.